In this video, we'll learn how we can make a swastik using the star patterns in Java programming. Okay, so here we have the star pattern with the help of which we have to make a swastik. Okay, so if we see about the eye counter, which will count the number of rows present in this swastik pattern. So here we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have 5 rows, so n is 5. That is the input number. According to which our output will change. Okay, so the I counter will initialize from 1 for the first row, for the second row it's 2, for third row, for fourth row, and this is for the last row, which is n. Now if we talk about the j counter, that is for the columns, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have equal number of columns, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is the last one. Okay, just a second. This one is 5. Okay, so now we can see that the I counter is initialized from 1 and is going till n, with the value being incremented in each iteration. So we have 1 till n plus plus. If we talk about j, it is initializing from 1 and it is going till n, and this is also incrementing, so we have 1 till n plus plus. Okay, so here in this case we can see that n was 5, and so that's how our loops will run. Okay, so we'll make a program of the swastik pattern. This was the old program. So here if we run this, we have java c pattern.java. Then we'll run it, that is java pattern. Okay, so this was the A letter program which we did in the last video. So now we'll change this program for the swastik pattern. Okay, so here also we have 3 variables, n, I and j. So in this case n is 5, so I have declared and initialized n is equals to 5. Now we have 2 loops. First is the I loop. So we have for int I is equals to 1, as we can see over here that I is starting from 1 till n plus plus. So here we'll write int I is equals to 1 till I is less than equals to n, and then we have I incremented by 1. Inside this I loop, we can see over here the j loop is also going till 1 to n plus plus. So we have for int j is equals to 1 till j is less than equals n, and j is incremented in each iteration. Now inside the j loop we'll print the stars, and we need to check some conditions. Okay, so just let me take the pencil over here. Yes, or I'll take the highlighter. As you can see over here, we are having 6 things in total. That is, first we have this row over here. This is 1. This one is 2. This one is 3, 4, 5, and this one is 6. Okay, so these are the 6 rows that we want to print. Okay, so we'll put 6 conditions inside this if statement. Okay, so if we talk about the first condition, that is to print these rows. That is the full rows, this one row and this row. Okay, so if we want to print the horizontal row, here we can see that I is equals to 3, which is 5 by 2 plus 1, that is n by 2, n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so if we talk about n over here, we are having n is equals to 5. So if we do n plus 1 by 2, we get 6 by 2, which is equals to 3. So we need to print a row over there. we need to print the stars over there. And for this vertical row where j is also equals to 3, we'll put the same condition. Okay, so in this if statement, we'll put the condition when I is equals to n plus 1 by 2. So here we have n plus 1 by 2. We have n plus 1 by 2. Okay, or now why we are placing or over here, we can also put an end, but we need to print star in either case. We also need to print the star if I is equals to 3 or whether j is equals to 3. We don't want to print a single line, we need to print all the lines. That's why we have placed the or over here. Now if we tell about the j condition, j is equals to, again we'll place here n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so now we have the next condition is to print this row, that is when j is equals to 1. Okay, so in this first column we'll see this row we are having, we need to print this row. Okay, so the condition for j will be that when j is equals to 1 and when I is less than equals n plus 1 by 2. That means when I is less than n plus 1 by 2 means I is less than 3. So we need to print this one. And similarly for all these conditions we have the conditions over here. Okay, so this condition is when j is equals to 1 and I is less than equal n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so now this condition over here, the next condition is when we have j is equals to n, that is the last column, and when I, for I the condition is same, but this times we have greater than equals to n plus 1 by 2. This is for printing this row over here, for printing this star pattern where j is 5, that is j is equals to n and I is greater than 3. Okay, we are placing a end over here in this condition because we want to print this row when both of them are equal. That means when both j is equals to 5 and I is greater than 3, both of them are simultaneously true. We don't want to print a line in this portion. So if we put a or over there in case of and, the stars will also be printed over here, as when j is equals to 5, the stars will print. Okay, so that's why we've put a and over here. So now the next condition is when we have I is equals to 1 and j is less than equals, j is greater than equals n plus 1 by 2. Now the next condition is when we have I is equals to n and we have j that is less than equals n plus 1 by 2, n plus 1 by 2. Okay, so our conditions are all ready. Now we need to print a star when any one of them is true. So we have system dot out dot println and then we'll print the star in the double quotes. So we are done with the if condition. Now we need to put the else statement, that is we don't want to print a star in any other case regardless we have already mentioned in the if conditions. We have system dot out dot print a space in this case. Okay, we need to remove the line change from here as we want to print the stars in one line, and after the loop is finished we'll change the line. So we have system dot out dot println after we came out of the for loop. Okay, so the program is finished. Now when we'll run this, we'll first compile this. Okay, I forgot to put the semicolon over here. We will now again save, and when we'll compile the program is successfully compiled. Now when we run it, we got the desired output. Here you can see that this is a swastik shape. Okay, I'll show you. Yes, here you can see that this is a swastik shape forming over here. Okay, so that's it for this video. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.